Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello dear students, welcome to 2nd PUC English online classes. In the last class, we discussed the 9th lesson, I believe that books will never disappear, an interview of George Louis Burgess. Here interviewer is Robert Alfino and interviewee is George Louis Burgess. Dear students, in the last class we had seen that Louis Burgess, he had studied from his father's library, and also we had seen that Robert Alfino, he asked question about his mother and how he expressed about his mother that his mother is a kind woman and he is feeling guilty for not being thankful to his mother or for taking his mother for granted, and he is not worth for his mother's to be a son to his mother. Why? Because he had neglected his mother, and the same thing happens in everyone's life. When something is available or something is with us, we do not realize the value of it. When we lose it, then only we come to know, or then only we will realize the value of lost things. And in the next after that, what Alfino asked, let us see. Please forgive me, Burgess, for asking you this. What is blindness to you? Burgess, well, now it is a way of life that is not entirely unhappy. A writer, and I believe generally all persons must think that whatever happens to him or her is a resource. All things have been given to us for a purpose, and an artist must feel this more intensely. All that happens to us, including humiliations, our misfortunes, our embarrassments, all is given to us as raw material, as clay, so that we may shape our art. So dear students, here Robert Alfino, he asked confessingly or with a sad tone, he is asking what is blindness to Burgess, because as I already said, Burgess, he became partially blind at the age of 55, and Alfino was appointed as his amanuensis. And here when he is interviewing with George Burgess, Alfino asked, confessingly he is asked, or he is asking with the hesitation, he is asking with Louis Burgess that what blindness is to him, to Burgess. For that, what Burgess is answering, he is answering or he is saying that blindness is a way of life. It's a way of life. It's not totally unhappy, because he has accepted that accepted that blindness in a positive way. He did not think that, oh, I became blind, I cannot do anything. He did not take it in a negative way, and he has taken it as a way of life, and along with that blindness he continued to live, and he had not lost his hopes, or he had not lost his interest in reading or in literature or any other activities. And here also he is saying one thing, he is saying, as a writer, I personally and all should take it as anything comes in the life, whatever it may be a problem, it may be a big shock, whatever it may be, one has to accept it as a resource. One should not confess or one should not mourn for the loss or the problem in the life. Instead of that, we have to accept it as a challenge, and we have to live with that, and we have to overcome on that. And also here he is saying, all things have been given to us for a purpose. So here God has some intention, and with that intention he has given us this kind of a test. We must think that it is the test that was given for us to test our it may be the talent, or it may be the capacity, or our personal attitude. So here he is saying all that happened to us, it may be humiliations, our misfortunes, our embarrassments, all given to us as raw material, as clay. So we must accept all, we must think those misfortunes, it may be humiliations, it may be embarrassment, whatever it may be failure, we must think that it is a raw material or it is a clay. You know what is clay? If you get the clay, you can give the shape to it and you can make a beautiful sculpture, or you can make a beautiful shape or an art, right? The same way these humiliations. What is humiliation? For example, think that you have given the name for speech competition and you are going to give the speech, and while giving the speech you become nervous, and while looking at the audience you forget whatever you have learnt. So you will be confused and you stop your speech, and in the half itself you come back, and there is a humiliation. Everyone will laugh at you and everyone will make fun of you. At that time it's a kind of humiliation, or it's a kind of embarrassment. Or if you lose, think that you are the topper in the class, and you will lose one subject, or you will get less marks because of some personal problems, and the teacher will scold you and your friends also will humiliate you. What happens at this time? You should not think that it is a failure. You should not think that it is that you do not have the capacity or you do not have the ability to do that. You must take it as a challenge in your life. Whatever you have lost, whoever insulted you and whoever laughed or make fun of you, they must respect you. They must respect you. That way we have to develop ourselves. From the mistakes we can learn. If we do not commit mistakes, we don't come to know about about the mistakes or about our wrong, or we cannot bring a good result if we do not make mistake. Okay, when we make mistake, if there is correction, then only we can correct. And if think that somebody is criticizing you, remember, if the people are criticizing you, don't take it in a negative way. Think that they are your best friends and they are your real friends. They may be your enemies or whatever it may be, but those who criticize you, you must think that they are the best friends or they are the real friends. Why? Because when there is criticism, then only we can shape ourselves. Without everyone is praising, though there are mistakes or though there is something is not proper, still if there are people who praise us, then what happens? We will continue with the same mistake. And if there are people to criticize, definitely we can come over our difficulties and we can achieve something good in this in our life. So that's what Burgess is saying. Whatever humiliations, it may be misfortunes or it may be embarrassments, we must take it as a resource, and also we can take it as a clay, in the sense we can shape our life. Our life is like a clay. We have to accept there may be some disabilities in us. Okay, though there are disabilities, we have to take it in a positive way and we must overcome on that, then only we can achieve something. Everyone is not equal. Don't compare yourself with others. He is very good in studies, he is very good in sports, she is very good in speech, she is beautiful. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Why? Because everyone is different. You might have seen 5 fingers, right? So 5 fingers are different. One is tall, one is short, one is fat, one is thin. So there are different. Then only, since there is a different shape, then only we can make a fist and we can do any work with our hands. Otherwise, if all fingers are same length, what happens? Can we hold the pen? No, it is impossible. So everyone, the people, they are not same. There are difference between the people, and every individual is blessed with the different kinds of abilities, talents, or innovative ideas, etc., as we said in the poem on children. So we should not hesitate for ourselves or we should not degrade ourselves, and also we should not feel envy for others' talents. Whatever we have got, on that we have to achieve, and on that we have to do something good, and we must take whatever comes to us in a positive way as a resource, and we must shape our life in a beautiful and in a attractive way. Then Alfino refers the great epic, that is the Odyssey. Alfino, he asked the question, Homer wrote in the Odyssey, the gods wrought and spun the skin of ruin for men, that there might be a song for those yet to be born. Burgess, well, it is the same idea. In one of my poems, I say that humiliations, misfortunes, discord were given to us so that we may transmute them, so that we may make from the miserable circumstances of our life eternal works of that aspire to be so. A verse of Goethe comes to mind, Alles nahe wird fern, all that is near becomes far. In this verse, Goethe refers not only to the sunset but also to life. All things leave us. In my case, the visible world has moved away from my eyes, surely forever, but fortunately it has been replaced by other things. My duty is to accept and as far as possible to enjoy those things. I still continue pretending that I am not blind. I still buy books. I still go on filling my house with books. Here Robert Alfino, he asked the question, that is he is referring Homer's Odyssey. Homer is a great Italian poet, and the Odyssey is an epic poem written by Homer. And here in Odyssey, the hero of the protagonist of the epic is a Greek hero, Ulysses, who had fought for Trojan War for 10 years. Okay, who had fought in Trojan War for 10 years. About him the book is about. And in that Homer, he had referred, the gods wrought and spun the skin of ruined men, that there might be a song for those yet to be born. Here in this poem or in this Odyssey, here Homer, he refers about the misfortunes or some of the problems that man is facing in his life. That is, the lines quoted by Alfino are taken from this poem, in which the poet tells the reader that it is the God who make man's life tragic, so as to wave a song for future generation to sing. This idea is based on the belief that men write songs in order to soothe the mind when they recall their woes. So dear students, here Alfino, he is referring Homer's Odyssey, and what Homer has said. Homer had said that here God, he has given or he has made man's life a tragedy, so that man can wave a song for future generation. And here it is also referred that those songs, when the man is suffered and when there is troubles in his life, whatever he had written, his life experience or his misfortunes, etc., that is a kind of soothing to the humankind or to the future generation, by referring that man can console himself when he is suffering from the tragedy. And here Burgess, he is agreeing with the Alfino's words, Alfino's quotes, and he is continuing or he is approving that by saying, well, it is the same idea. He is saying, yes, I am also talking about the same idea. If in one of my poems I say that humiliations, misfortune, discord were given to us so that we may transmute them. So we can transmute them. For here, whatever it may be, for example, in accidenting that you might have lost your limbs. What will you do? Will you sit in a room that I have lost my hand, I don't have leg, or will you depend on your parents or anyone at home? No, here what Burgess is saying to us that whatever happens to us, we should not depend on anyone, or we should not feel that it is a misfortune or it is a disability. You might have different example. You might have seen the reality shows, Dance India Dance, etc. Then some blind are singing in the reality shows. And also we have a living example near to our hometown, that is in Mudbidri in Alvas. There is one girl, Sabita, you might have known. She doesn't have 2 arms, but still she is working, she is traveling alone, she is doing her own work. And how is it possible? When there is will, when there is a strong desire, and when there is a good mind to accept that disability as a, or to take that disability as a positive, and when there is a mind or when there is a will to accept all those problems as a clay, and when you have the will to shape it as a beautiful art, then only it is possible. So here nothing is impossible, anyone can do anything. Dear students, Alfino asks the question, that is by referring Homer's Odyssey, and in that it is said that in Homer's Odyssey it is said that God has given the punishment, or God has made man's life tragic one, and so that the man can weave some songs, it can soothe human beings. For that, Burgess, he is replying by confirming or by adding to that answer that, well, it is the same idea. In one of my poems, I say that humiliation, misfortune, discord were given to us so that we may transmute them. So we can transmute them. How? We can change them. That misfortune, humiliation can be changed as some of the miserable circumstances, and we can make the life's eternal work. Always if we are humiliated, or if there is misfortune or something discord, we should not think that it is our failure or it is our drawback. We should not feel like that. But we have to take it in a positive way, we have to take it as a challenge in our life, so that we can change those misfortune, discord or humiliations into a life's eternal work, so that everyone will appreciate one day. Those who have criticized us, those who have corrected us, we can give a good response, or we can give a good result to them by making or by achieving something in our life. Then also Burgess refers the words of Goethe. A verse of Goethe comes to mind: all nigh word fen, all that is near becomes far. In the verse, Goethe refers not only to the sunset but also to life. All things leave us. In my case, the visible world has moved away from my eyes, surely forever, but fortunately it has been replaced by other things. My duty is to accept and as far as possible to enjoy those things. I still continue pretending that I am not blind. I still buy books. I still go on filling my house with books. So here Louis Burgess, he is referring the words of the poet Goethe. Here he says that all that is near becomes far. Here he refers to the sunset, and here in the life also something what is near to us that goes far. In Burgess's case, what has gone far? Here he was his eyesight with him, and now he has become partially blind. So something that was near to him, that is his eyesight, that has gone away, or it has gone far. And he is saying that unfortunately it has been replaced by other things. So he had lost his sight, but that sight or that drawback or that empty place, that was replaced by some of the other things. Maybe his other habits or activities might have replaced his blindness. And what are those other habits? It is his interest in literature, his knowledge, and he has the habit of purchasing the books, and by purchasing the books he was showing his interest in the literature, and also he was pretending as if he is not blind. So it is said that my duty is to accept and as far as possible enjoy those things. He accepted, he did not mourn for his blindness, but he accepted. He might have felt bad, but still he did not continue his suffering in that blindness itself, but he tried to overcome on his disabilities, and he took it as a way of life, and also he considered it as a resource in his life. Then next Alfino asked, there is a theme I would like us to speak about, the theme of books. Here then Alfino, he wishes to speak about the books with the Burgess. Then he says, well, last night in fact I had a very strange dream. I dreamed of the burning of a great library, which I believe may have been the library of Alexandria, with its countless volumes attacked by flames. Do you believe this dream may have some meaning? Here Burgess is answering to Alfino's question by referring the incident of library of Alexandria, which was burnt in the fire. So when he asked, Alfino asked to speak about the theme of books, he is saying that once he had a dream, and in that dream he saw that library of Alexandria that was burning. The library of Alexandria, this is one of the largest and most significant libraries of the ancient world, and that is in Egypt, and that is dedicated to the muses, the 9 goddesses of art, and it was established in the 3rd century BC, and also most of the books were kept in the papyrus stalls. So here many volumes or many books were burnt in that incident, or when the library of Alexandria it was attacked by flames, most of the volumes were lost. And here Burgess, he is saying that he had a dream of burning that library of Alexandria, and he is saying, asking with the Alfino whether that has some meaning, but he is saying it may have some meaning. And here he gives an introduction for the theme of books. Then he asks, perhaps Burgess, could it be that you owe your readers a book on the history of the book? Have you ever thought of writing such a book? And by referring this incident, the library of Alexandria, he is asking whether he is interested or whether he is willing to write about the theme of books. Then what is the answer from Burgess? Dear me, no, but it is an excellent idea. It would be wonderful to write a history of book. I'll keep it in my mind, although I don't know if an 83-year-old man can set such a project for himself. However, I now remember that Spengler in his Decline of the West predates my attempt for in it he writes remarkable comments on books. So here when Alfino asks Burgess to write about, or his interest to write about the history of book, Burgess, he is saying that he still, though he is blind, he is interested, but he tells that he is now 83 years old, whether this is the suitable age to attempt or to start writing about the history of books. That means it takes a lengthy time or a long time to complete the work. And also he is referring that the German historian and philosopher, that is Spengler, who had attempted in the book, his book Decline of the West, about the history of book, he had attempted or he had shared many views about the history of books. So this is what is saying about the theme of the books and about the writing of books. And in the next class, let us see how Burgess he is explaining or how he is sharing his views on the writing of book and about the poetry. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.